Hello everybody, welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup 2023. We got the Group L for you today. It's Pool Float versus Centroid41. Commentating for us, we have Westside Vandal and Zethno, and tracking is Lady Orlinda. Say hello everybody.
Hey everybody, it's me. It is Westside Vandal here on commentary. Zethno will be joining us shortly. Bit of a last-second technical issue. Either that or the hottest mixtape of all time, one of the two. But I'll be with you here for this first matchup in Group Play, Group L of the Challenge Cup between Centroid and Pool Float. MC Boss Shuffle, so we're going to see maps and compasses shuffled into the pool, meaning most dungeons are going to have 2 extra items in them. And the full boss shuffle, which means we're going to see 3 bosses repeated twice in the pool. This should be a pretty good matchup. These 2 runners just barely missed the cutoff for the main tournament, so should be a fairly decent display of skill today. We are about 5 seconds away from the start of the race, and away we go. And both runners are deciding to start at Link's house here. And we'll see if there's any further divergence after that. Nope, looks like they're both going to go for Hyrule Castle here. Always a point of contention, or at least, very least, Uncle. Oh, we get a magic drop. Nice. And more magic from the tree pool. Alrighty then. Very least, we're gonna see what our uncle has in store for us today, and we're going to get the Cane of Samaria. Well, it's a good thing we got that magic then. So now it'll be interesting to see. We do have a weapon that can handle Hyrule, front of Hyrule. We'll see if our runners decide to do it here. Bombs as a couple of bombs as backup. Looks like we've got both runners saving and quitting though, so they are going to head to Sanctuary now and see what Kakariko has in store for us. Full heart container in Sanctuary. Some people do like to do that uncle routing, but it's a point of contention. I've heard some good points on both sides of that argument, but me personally, I just usually start straight at Sanctuary. And again, there's a reason why I'm in the commentary booth and not playing. Alright, looks like Bush Crab, again, more magic. Piece of Heart on Lumberjack, so we're not going to need to do Aghanim 1 for that reason today. We could still need to pay him a visit to get to Dark World if the seed is particularly rude about it, but that remains to be seen. 10 arrows with no bow to shoot them from on the mushroom spot. Moon Pearl in Lost Woods, Thieves Hideout, okay. That coming out that early would also drive a bit more of a nail into the coffin of Aga 1. But still plenty of checks left to find the other 2 items we need out of the group of two gloves and the hammer that we need, or the hammer we need for Dark World access. Alright, Blind's Hideout now. More bombs. The flute. Alrighty then. A glove. Okay, well. And a bottle. Alright, we're going to be able to clear out Kakariko here. All right. Well, let's see what else Kakariko has in store for us. Nice early flute, nice early glove. We're looking for just that hammer.
Sorry about that. I'm now here.
Alrighty then. I'm now joined by our co-commentator for this race, Zethno. All right. You've missed an oddly stacked blind side out here. There's our map of Dark Palace, and there's maps and maps on maps on maps in the Kakariko well. Hello.
I mean, maps are always nice to see, but I'm looking at the fact that I've missed a glove, a moon pearl, and a flute. Like, that was... And a bottle. A bottle's before finishing Kakariko's always nice.
Yeah, no, we were just discussing right as you got here. Moon Pearl was in Lost Woods, and then the other two items you noted were in Blind Hideout. So it has been a very loaded, and it continues. There's the fire rod. All right.
So all we need to find is the hammer, and we're gonna be. I'm gonna have this 2 days in a row. I was commentating a siege yesterday where we found Mitts, Moon Pearl, and Hammer, I think, in the same dungeon. So we're following that line again. If you want early Dark World access, get me to commentate your games.
Yeah. All right. Well, Sick Kid showing off his new hobby of geocaching with that compass, and there's the red boomerang.
Red boomerang's always nice.
Yeah, it's an okay boomerang. And we do have both runners activating the flute, so insert your rhyming bird and word pair here. Alrighty. What else are we going to see here? So far, our runners have been pretty much in lockstep. Centroid a little bit behind Pool here. And it does look like that is going to continue as Pool is heading down south here. Shield on Library Ledge. We're probably... Or Library Ledge. Bookshelf is the word I'm looking for.
I mean,
probably...
technically, kind of Library Ledge. That's...
Yeah. Compass on race game. Don't really need that. Desert area. Interesting. 10 arrows on Desert Ledge, so that's not going to be necessary. Oh, Centroid blind checking the race game here. Probably not going to be a fan of this. If I had to guess.
Yeah, for sure.
Alright. Into Agina's cave we go. What is he hiding? A piece of heart. And there's the save and quit. Alright, and back to Sanctuary goes Pool Float. I would assume a flute is going to be coming here. Alright, and we've got... Oh, we do have a little bit of a divergence here. Centroid checking the dam here, and Pool Float is doing back of escape, which has nothing of note, unfortunately. About the I mean, the key to Hyrule Castle, so he's going to be able to go in and check Dark Cross via the back entrance here. It is, although it isn't technically, dark. It is in logic because we have the fire rod.
Yeah, it's just not something you
V30
particularly want to do, but
no,
yeah.
It is one of those. It's one of the V31 changes that I always keep forgetting, which is weird considering how long V31 has been active.
It has been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah. All right, Mini Moldorm also not with anything of note. I mean, after that Kakariko, though, I can't really blame it.
Yeah, there's only so many key items you can get in the first first 9 minutes of the seed.
Yeah. Oop, hammer.
Centroid
Hammer
having
and
some...
Dark Cross! Oh! Oh! Wait a minute! Ouch!
Oh. Yeah, okay.
Gross!
Well, I said we were going to find Hammer next, so... There's Dark World.
Yep.
That's an
At first-
unfortunate place to find a hammer.
That's bad for Centroid. Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, there is a potential that we may not see that for quite a while, depending on if that's our logical Dark World access or not.
Yeah. I mean, it would have to, like, Titans would have to be on Death Mountain.
Yeah,
Now,
something
that
like
means-
that.
Now that means Ice Rod.
Centroid. What is Centroid doing? He's just dodged 2 different ducks.
Huh.
I think he's thinking about what needs to be done and is accidentally
Like just button mashing, and then he like hears the thing. He goes, "Wait a minute, no, I need to do this."
Well, the second time it looked like they went kind of out of their way to wait for it. And then he decided to change his mind. He's like, "Wait, no, I need money."
All right, Tower of Hera and Turtle Rock are our 5/6. We do have a crystal on Thieves Town and a non-green pendant on Palace of Darkness, if I saw that map check correctly. All right, Centroid gonna go ahead and fake flipper here. One of those things you don't see very often anymore because water walking's kind of come in vogue, but
Yeah, well, with so many people playing modes that start with boots,
yeah, exactly.
water walking is just so much nicer. Like it just saves so much time
Yeah.
over the fake flipper, and it feels better too. Ooh,
Both of
Hero
our
game.
runners showing off some obscure game knowledge here, showing off spots to farm rupees. I think
Yeah,
Full Float has the slightly better farm though with Arrow Game. just ever so
Slightly?
slightly.
that cave that Centroid was
Yeah.
in had what,
20,
20 rupees?
Yeah,
And that last arrow got Pool Float 64 alone?
Yeah. 64, 30, 64, 32, 16, 8. Yeah. It's better, especially if you can consistently do a 5 for 5.
There is that one spot you can stand in, and Pool showed that off, that if you know where to stand and where to hit it, you can hit it every time. I think it works for 2 rounds before you have to reset.
Yep.
Oh, look, we found an ether.
Yep, Ether Medallion, which we don't know if that's going to be needed yet. We do know one of our crystals is Turtle Rock, but we do not know what medallion we need for it yet. All right, here is the fruits of the fake flipper, map of Desert Palace, and
What was in
bombs.
that bottle we found? Oh, it was a bee. We're going to
Yeah.
change it out. Yeah. Free the bee. Green potion.
Eh. I think I might have actually preferred the bee. I mean, then again, great magic with Fire Rod. That's pretty
Yeah.
decent for Mothula, for example. So is what I was thinking of, and I was thinking of that because I'm like, oh, we have Dark World access. Number 1, we don't have a sword. Number 2, it's boss shuffle.
Well, hey, we could... Oh, yeah, I guess. But we could end up in Ice Palace as well if we find the flippers, logically.
and Titans.
Oh, Titans. Yeah, 2 items.
All right. So, what is the Wheel of Zerality going to have for us today?
Life lesson.
So, we'll be taking a page out of the.
Piece of heart.
Yeah. That's not quite a life lesson, but
It's a small life lesson.
it's a quarter of a life lesson. Ba-da-dun-dun-dun-dun. All right. All right, so I do think Centroid's going to retrieve their hammer here. They're going to do back of escape. They're going to get that key, and they're going to go, oh hey, I have a fire rod. As annoying as this is, I can do this.
Yeah, if you're here, it's a good idea to do it, especially if you have logical access to it.
No, Centroid! No, buddy.
You have logical access.
Well, could he be thinking, well, let's do the front of Hyrule Castle first? Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's going to do the front of Hyrule Castle and then do Dark Room that way.
Okay, if he does it now, that's at least not horrible.
Yeah. Well, and here's how this might pay off, actually. Centroid might be thinking, well, maybe my opponent already did this, because we did have that glove relatively early. So what if my opponent did back of escape into Dark Cross?
Yeah.
But then again, that would be Centroid assuming that there's something in Dark Cross, which obviously he can't know that.
Yeah. I mean, I still think you, if you can, just do cross from where you were, but that's okay. As long as we get it at the end of these checks, we're okay.
Yeah.
The only thing is that,
go ahead.
How is he's gonna have to death warp?
Green Pendant Ice Palace. Alrighty. Yep, he is going to have to death warp, which we are on green mail, and the ball and chain card does kind of pack a punch, so we could use that.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. Pool picking up a shield, everybody's favorite item in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Some runners are very against it, like to purposefully lose it if they can.
And well, also, there we go. Taken. I don't know quite how intentional some of that damage was, because he was throwing the boomerang like a madman. But
well, you know what? He needs the damage, so taking damage here is not really a bad thing.
Exactly. But like, I was like, well, hook shot on Bottle Fender. Hello.
At least that's a fast thing. We'll probably see it from Centroid pretty quickly, because we do have flute, so it doesn't take much to get back there. Big pickup though.
Yep. We haven't really seen much out of the front of this Hyrule Castle, unfortunately, for Centroid.
Okay, Centroid, you're at full health.
Yeah, and that's the Book of Midoriya.
No.
Oh no! Please just take the. Oh no! Well, he is.
That's what I was worried about.
He is starting.
As soon as I saw him finishing it at full health, I was like, no, that's not a death warp strat.
Oh, he has the flute out.
We're gone.
No.
That could be bad. That's bad. That's isolated. There is no reason to go back there until you absolutely have to at this point. You've made the decision to skip it.
We did just get the Book of Midoriya, though, and Centroid is using that to go into Desert. So if there's something...
but like, when do you go back to Hyrule Castle at this point?
Ricky pointing out, our research producer pointing out, he might have forgotten the M in MC boss. And if he did, that's going to be an absolute hard last location.
I can see part of his...
Oh, no. And our second item in Desert looks to be on Torch. Luckily, it's the Cane of Burna. I haven't been paying attention to this Skull Woods, but I did see a full heart container in the room Pool just exited.
I think I can see a little bit of Centroid's tracker, and I think there still shows one item on there.
Punky, we actually talked about that. Any room where a torch is available to be hit by the fire rod, is considered in logic as long as you have the fire rod. So that is Dark Cross, that is the U-shaped hallway in Palace of Darkness, and that is the pathway to where Armorous Knights would be in Eastern Palace if this weren't boss shuffle.
Yeah. I think Centroid's tracker still has an item in there though, so he may take a look at that later and figure it out.
I
think there's a 1 there, right?
Yeah, I was about to say that looks like the key tracker, but that doesn't make sense. No,
because that's I know what tracker that is, and I'm pretty that should be the number of items remaining. So
I'm looking at it now, and you're right.
He will go back there. He just needs to remember to do so. But it's one of those things of like, why would you go all the way back to Dark Cross if you have absolutely anything else in the world to check? Because almost anything will be faster.
Pool Float, leaving no stone unturned here, is actually opening the back of Skull Woods while he's here. There is no sword yet, so he can't go any further than this chest. Which also means he hasn't found all the items in... Oh, that's a Trinex. Oh, ouch.
That's not what you want to see.
I mean, we do technically have the items necessary to beat that boss if we're Pool Float. Because Pool Float did find the ice rod and the hammer.
But you know what? Hey, you'll be really happy you have that magic potion you were talking about earlier.
True. That's true facts.
That's way better than I would want a magic potion over a bee in that situation.
Yep. All right. Okay, go ahead and check the right side of desert while he's here. I also just realized I've been saying the second item in desert. Desert obviously going to have 4 items because the map and compass are shuffled into the wider pool.
You know, I didn't even notice. I think I knew what you meant, and then I just... Yep. Okay, what do we got here? We have a compass.
Okay, then.
Wrong dungeon. The ice compass is in desert. Yeah. Thankfully, it didn't melt.
Answering a question in chat. No, this is not cross keys. This is MC boss shuffle. So the maps and compasses are shuffled, and then the bosses, as you saw with Trinex hanging out in desert, are full shuffled, which means there are 3 bosses randomly selected that have 2 copies in the pool.
Yep.
And those copies... those copies aren't just... like, the 3 refights aren't going to be in Ganon's Tower. They could be anywhere.
They could be in Ganon's Tower.
They could, yeah, but they aren't required to be in there.
Yeah, it's unlikely that all 3 are there, but hey, it could happen. Rando sometimes likes to rando that way.
Yep. Alrighty.
And just for anyone watching, because there's going to be a lot of Challenge Cup probably coming up over the next little bit, because there are a lot of games that we're going to be having. Where there's 5 different modes, and the mode will be shown at the bottom of the stream here. So you'll know which of the 5 modes we're running in every race.
And the rich get richer, by the way. Pool Float finds boots in C-shaped house in Village of Outcasts.
Pool Float's just finding exactly what he needs.
Yeah. This is starting to get dire for Centroid, especially with that hook shot, meaning he can go do... the mirror in Thieves. Oh, no. Yeah, Centroid's getting... is eating a full course meal of dust right now. This is going from bad to worse.
I mean, Boots automatically gives Pool an advantage for the next while. And on top of that, having Mirror and being able to loop in some of these Dark World and Light World checks together will save a bunch of time. This is going to be a problem for Centroid. And yeah, you're right. Finding that hookshot means, okay, I mean, this is the right decision when you find that. You say, hey, I found a hookshot. I have access to a lot of things on the mountain. Let's go check mountain. This makes sense if you don't know that hammer is in Dark Cross.
Yeah.
And we run straight to the boss on poolside. Remember, this is boss shuffle, so we don't have to save the maiden.
Correct. We do get Helmisar, which is defeatable with the hammer.
This is actually kind of a nice boss to find here.
Yeah.
A little calm, just deal with it in your own time. No real worries.
Yeah. I think it's a slightly bigger arena than Helmisar has in Palace of Darkness too.
I was just a little worried there for Pool with one. As I'm saying, it's a nice calm fight, not a lot of danger. Pool gets knocked down to 1 heart. Well, at that heart, there is a little bit of danger.
Yeah. Yeah. Helmisar is kind of tuned, expecting you to. Oh boy.
Okay, there we go.
Helmisar is kind of tuned, expecting you to be, be slightly further along in the game than we are right now.
Oh, so we're not supposed to be fighting it with green mail fighter sword?
Nope. Oddly enough, no.
Yeah, well, we found a full heart there inside Spectacle Rock Cave. Do we go for it? I don't think so, but no, we don't. Yeah, we are talking. We're not a lot of hearts. We're still on green mail. It could be a choice for some survivability.
Indeed, yeah.
It's a little bit of a long walk for 1 heart, but at least it's a full heart.
Right.
Walking out of your way for a piece of heart is almost never worth it in a race. Though if you are a new runner trying to pick up this game, please pick up every piece of heart you can find. It helps.
Yep. Okay.
Pool showing off that mirror. Oh, sorry.
The absolute worst thing that Centroid could find right now is the Titans.
Oh, that would be horrible. That could be like game losing.
Followed... I was about to say followed closely by the Flippers, but the Flippers actually don't open much on their own. The Flippers need the Titans.
Yeah, because we've already done all the Flippers checks in Light World that we're going to do.
Well, Flippers would also need the mirror for Swamp, which, as we know, is in Thieves Town. So...
But you'd have to get to Dark World to use those Flippers in Swamp.
Pool has not broken logic, no.
Pool's just had a really, really good route. Like, not that Centroid has a bad route other than maybe skipping Dark Cross. Pool's route's just been fine. In this particular seed, has just found every item when he needs it.
Chat correctly pointing something out as well. Centroid just found half of the Oh No starter kit. Found Cape. What if Centroid finds Lamp?
He still needs a sword.
Yeah, true.
Pool has one, but I have no idea where it was.
That was in Thieves as well.
Oh, okay, so we don't have to worry about that. Still would need a sword. As to or cape in chat, we have cape, but we need a sword because you still need a sword along the way.
Well, Sniper in chat pointing out another correct point. Finding Lamp would also put Centroid back on the path of maybe going, oh, there's something in Dark Cross.
It's possible because it could be a logic problem that he believes that item was out of logic and didn't get it. Or is just not comfortable with that dark room. So maybe you're right. Maybe the lamp points Centroid back in the right direction.
Does need a point in any direction at the moment because, unfortunately, Agina, not exactly helpful today.
I don't... If I'm reading that right, I don't think he's gone into Eastern yet, right?
He has not, no.
Oh, yeah, take a look at that.
But I think that's his last check outside of Dark Cross. So...
The tracker still has an item in Hyrule Castle. So hopefully that points him back in the right direction.
The one thing I will say in Centroid's favor right now is Pull Float is kind of doing the stuff that Centroid has done. So Centroid has a chance to catch up, but it does need to be like now.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is that Pool is doing it with boots.
Yeah. But, yeah, which is going to improve Pool's ability to, do it in a timely manner. The other thing that's going to improve is Pool able to use the sword beam to keep track of where he is in Old Man Rescue, whereas Centroid was pushing a Samaria block, which I believe is slightly slower. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, at least he had Samaria, because when you have to do hammer strats in that cave, it gets real interesting. He doesn't even have hammer, but let's pretend.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been hookshot strats?
Didn't have hookshot at the time he did Old Man Rescue. Well, yeah, he did. Never mind, sorry.
I think he might have, yeah. Just shooting that hookshot around, finding out where all the walls are. That would definitely be quite a bit slower. Nice kill there on Centroid's side.
All right, and now we're getting into where that mirror is going to be advantageous, because Pool Float obviously going to be able to go into Tower of Hera now, which is uncharted territory. It is a crystal, which we already knew because it's one of the 5/6s.
And I think I saw that was Vidi? Is that what I saw? Because he had the compass. The boss was there.
Yeah, I didn't quite see that.
I want to say it was Vidi, which is completable again. Not pleasant, but completable.
Yeah, I was about to say gross, but doable.
I mean, the one nice thing about having it in this dungeon is that you technically don't have to jump down into the main boss arena to fight Vidi. You can kind of do it on the side.
And also, you don't have to deal with the poison area.
Yeah, no poison area. You don't have to worry about the lightning. You can just I mean, he has hammer, so you can just stand on the side and hammer the little ones until they all die.
All right, so now we're gonna see.
Yeah, okay, we're good.
Vanilla Big Key in Palace, in Eastern Palace, by the way.
Oh, lovely. Okay, so I think we're going to the boss. No, we're not. What are we? Oh, big chest.
Yep.
I was like, what are we doing? We don't have bow. Right, there is something here. That is really not a helpful item.
Nope.
I was right that it was Vidi. Oh, Bullflow gonna go bomb strats. That works too. Soften them up a little bit.
I will also say, remember it is boss shuffle. Oh, it's not Randomizer. Never mind. My brain was like, well, it's boss shuffle. We don't necessarily need the bow for the boss. And then I remembered, but the enemies aren't shuffled, and there are multiple red mimics.
Yeah, it is an Randomizer, but not for the enemies that would make it not bow locked. Oh, we're actually gonna go with fighter sword strats on Pool's side. I would use the hammer here. It does a lot more damage.
I think Centroid was looking for some magic there and got hearts instead.
Huh?
Oh, Centroid, no.
Centroid?
Buddy, you're not gonna like this. Is he gonna shock block this?
No sword. Yeah, I think he just figured out he has no sword.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, he's stuck. Even if he goes through there, he's gonna realize he can't get very far because there's no sword. He's staring at his items.
Yeah.
I think we have a logic problem. I think he doesn't know that that item's in logic. Your tracker has it available. Unless, you know what? It says 1, but that might not be available. Like, I don't know if that's showing that it's in logic or not, because I can't see everything else.
Yeah.
But there is an item in Hyrule Castle. Remember to get it. This feels really bad as a runner when you have that moment and you're staring at your tracker and your items and you're like, what the heck did I not get? I don't have anything left.
Well, but at this point, it's literally the only thing you have left to do. Even if your brain is telling you it's not in logic, just go do it. You can figure out where the logic problem is.
Pool, don't fall. Pool, don't fall and don't get hit. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but this is kind of a iffy fight right here.
Yeah, no, you're fine. I saw that too, and I was just like,
One hard and almost about to fall off. Pool, careful. This is a fight you really don't want to redo. Because the Vidi fight is very scary.
No, Centroid, you already did, Uncle.
The thing is that Pool needs to spin. Because sword slashes do nothing. So it's spins or hammers, so he's got to be... Again, it would be much easier if he was using hammer, but he might just not be comfortable using it in this scenario.
Oh, Centroid is starting to retrace his steps. Oh,
yeah, that's not a good sign.
Oh, no.
He's got to not be using a map tracker.
And again, you got to think he knows that's there. Even if it is his runner brain is telling him that's not in logic problem, he's got to at least have the knowledge of the dark room.
Yeah, all that I can say is that he's got to not be using a map tracker and not realizing that it's in logic. That's the only thing I can say. As I'm watching Pool run in circles. Okay, yeah. Pool is done.
Centroid, you've got the compass. It's showing 5 of 6. My man, please help.
And you can't do the boss. Yeah, you're right. It says 5 of 6. You know there's nothing left because it says 5 of 6. You can't do the boss without a bow.
And Centroid, oh, buddy. Oh, no. This is... As a runner that is prone to tilt, this hurts. This hurts. Like, oh... As a commentator, you don't want to, like, kick a man when he's down, but, oh, no.
No, yeah, it feels bad and you don't want to, and, you know, we actually want to see close races, tight races. We want to see this. We want to see good competitive everything, so this just kind of... Centroid's not standing in the right place.
Not standing in the right place, and is gonna hate when he does get through and realize, oh wait, when he lights up and realizes I don't have anything to kill this green mimic with.
Oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, like we literally have nothing to kill them. Oh, creative.
Okay. All right, sure.
The next mimic isn't gonna work so well.
Yeah.
The next mimic is gonna be a problem.
Oh, man.
Unfortunately, this is kind of...
Yeah, I mean, there's not much we can say while still being polite, honestly, unfortunately. I
mean, every runner's done this at some point.
There's the realization of, wait a minute, yeah, this isn't gonna go like I think it will.
Yeah, every runner's had that moment, yeah. Every runner's had that moment when they're looking and they just, you know, maybe it's you mistracked something, maybe you just don't know where your item is, but you have that moment where you're thinking and you just have absolutely no idea where to go, and it just feels horrible as a runner.
Yeah.
I think if you've played enough games, you've probably lost the game this way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it just feels horrible.
I remember one Eastern Palace, incidentally enough, was actually the cause of one of my first ever. Oh crap! I missed something. Slip ups. I just completely blanked doing Cannonball Chest. So I was in much the same situation Centroid is now, where I'm just like, okay, what did I miss? What's going on?
Yeah, I had one. It knocked me out of a tournament. I don't remember if it was. I don't think it was this one. It might have been the Mentor tournament when I was on my own, and I was just looking at my tracker, and I was looking at it, and it knocked me out of the tournament because I was in the lead up until I completely mistracked something, and then it just never came back from it. It happens to everybody, but it just feels horrible when it happens to you, and it feels horrible to see it happen to another runner.
Yeah, now Centroid going into desert and again realizing, oh, there's one item left. It's on the boss, which is Trinex.
Hyrule Castle. Hyrule Castle.
Spirit, we need to like spirit bomb and send the message back into the past at this point, folks. Because as you probably
wait, we're going in the right direction.
It could be. It might be.
We're heading the right way. We're going into the right dungeon. Okay, walk in and find out there's one item left, and you realize that you can get every item in this dungeon. Oh, we don't have a compass.
Yeah.
We're going the right way.
Hyrule Castle does not have a compass, no.
Well, you know what? I'm more I'm trying to help him out. Let's make a compass for Hyrule Castle just for this seed. Okay, so the chant of Hyrule Castle worked. We got to do that more often. Meanwhile, Pooh Float's clearing up.
Using the Cane of Samaria again. This might have also just been an issue of not feeling comfortable with the dark room.
Yeah, the next dark room kind of sucks, but
it does, yes.
like the one with all the ropes is just awkward.
Oh, yeah.
This one.
Yep.
I don't like this dark room. Out of a lot of the dark rooms, this isn't the one that's going to be really hard, but if you come in here early with like 3 hearts, it can kind of kill you. Okay, we're in the right place. We're good. Centroid back on track.
Yep, and there, those are the rage grabs. The rage grabs.
As to a comment in chat about at what point you Google a dark room for reference of where to go. I mean, when I was learning this game and learning how to play this, I had a tab up with all of the dark rooms, and if I ever needed one, it was there on the side.
Yeah. Oh, I've played this game for years and years now, and I will still pull up the map for Palace of Darkness, Dark Maze.
Yeah, that's not a fun one. And you know what? Every time I take a break from playing, I have to bring up that map again because I don't remember that one.
And I'll still get lost in Dark Maze, even looking at the map, going, oh, "Wait." You know,
and sometimes you're banging on walls, going, "How far enough could it be a part of the map, or am I not?"
All right. I'm also just going to just come out and say it. Props to Centroid at this point for like continuing on, like because you've got to be aware. You know, I'm in like you've got to be having that like Ralph at the back of the bus moment. In danger, because that does not feel good. You know?
No. In this moment, you know you're behind.
Yeah. And especially because, and again, there's no way for Centroid to know this information. You might notice that Centroid's first play in Dark World was to go to Skull Woods, as opposed to Hype Cave, which has the Ice Rod. Now, that being said, he's going to get there. And arguably, Thieves Town is going to have more useful stuff. But
yeah, I like the route, though. Just cleaning up Skull Woods while we're up here, and then going down, cleaning out Thieves Town.
Yeah.
You have the items for Hype Cave. It can be a really good advantage to do it early as well. I've seen runners go both routes.
Boots are in C-shaped house in Village of Outcasts.
So Centroid will have them soon. Because I have to assume that's where he's going next.
Yeah.
Centroid does not push to the back of Skull Woods. We'll save a little bit of time on pool there.
We do have a... no, looks like he's going.
Okay, I take that back. Never mind.
Pendant Palace of Darkness dip here by Pool Float. The answer is always and never. Yeah, I was about to say. the Pendant Pod is the Schrodinger's box of Link to the Past randomizer dungeons. It's never Pendant Pod until it's Pendant Pod.
It's never Pendant Pod until you skip it, and then it's obviously Pendant Pod, and why on earth did you decide to not do it? Just every time I try to skip this dungeon, it has something, and every time I do it, I get nothing out of it.
Yep. Well, there's
flippers.
Yeah, that's something, all right.
Except we don't know if they're required yet, right?
There's...
we don't know.
Like...
As it's the one pendant remaining, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Mathematically speaking, we probably need them.
Well, hold on. We found them in Pendant Pod, and we went in here, so obviously Swamp is going to turn out to be a pendant. Ooh! Pool. Mimic Lip.
Respectable. Looks pretty decent, actually.
Yeah, it's not even no select buffering or anything. If this works, this is going to be really good. Nah. Okay. Do we have a bottle? No.
Well, we do. It just doesn't have anything in it.
Wow. Do we have a filled bottle was the more important question here.
Yeah. Looks like he's going to take another crack at it, though.
He has the time.
Yeah. He
doesn't know it, but he has the time.
Ouch. Oh, he did have a green bottle. Excuse me.
Well, why did he mirror instead of just... Oh, I guess to
Yeah.
Does that cause issues with the mimics if you have them in the wrong place?
I think it would, yeah.
It might.
Better safe than sorry, honestly. And as you just so painfully and correctly pointed out, he does have the time.
Yeah, I don't mean that in a negative way for anyone, but it's just a factual statement. He does have the time.
Meanwhile, this is a non-full Key Sanity Palace of Darkness, so once again, the mullet dungeon coming on through. Business in front, party in the back. although technically the flippers were in the front of the dungeon, so...
Yeah. Which could be a giant red herring. And we'll go to Swamp and get absolutely nothing in a pendant. Ooh. And the bumper there having a little bit of fun with him. Yep. Centroid is in Thieves Town, is going to be very happy with what's in here and very unhappy it took him so long to get here.
Yeah.
Ooh. I was a little worried there for Pool. Thought he was going to knock himself off the bridge, which is really unfortunate in that moment.
Okay, here's another one of those rooms where this is in logic, because of what Pool is about to do. That is considered in logic in in 99.9% of V31 seeds. You can technically disable it by setting, I think it's item placement is the toggle. If you set it to basic, it will revert to free V31 rules, but pretty much any competitive rule set is going to use advanced item placement.
I had that information open, actually, and I lost it when I was having my issues earlier. Because I had the settings for this race open. But yeah. Yeah, no, it's the item... I think you're right, item placement. Mm-hmm. It just requires the lamp for any dark rooms instead of just a fire rod when there's a torch.
We're going to see Hammer Yump here. Looking pretty okay. Boss is going to be boss shuffle, specifically full boss shuffle. So 3 bosses have had a duplicate thrown into the pool at random. And then maps and compasses are shuffled into the wider item pool.
You know, I absolutely love that we actually have the bosses on the tracker here because it makes it so much easier that I don't have to remember what the bosses are.
Absolutely. Alrighty.
And I just double checked, and it is item placement.
And a nice little practical demonstration. What Pool is doing right now is not considered in logic because there are no torches that can be lit with the fire rod. Which isn't to say you can't still use the fire rod to kind of try and help you figure out where you are, but it's just not logical.
But if you're here, it's a good dungeon. It's a good room to learn at some point.
Unfortunately, that knowledge does not help Pool today. And outside of those flippers, it does look like Palace of Darkness didn't really have much for us. So,
you know, you say that it didn't help him much, and I agree. Other than the fact that it takes 2 more checks off his mind. So that if he finds a lamp later, he doesn't have to go, oh no, there's those 2 items left behind me in Dark Maze, and what if it's one of those?
You know, if I'm Pool, I just buy a blue potion and be done with it. You've done Zora, you've entered Eastern Palace, or excuse me, Palace of Darkness. You don't really have anything else you need the rupees for.
Yeah.
Might as well just have the peace of mind of having both refills in one bottle.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Tyler Salt, the story so far here, unfortunately, is Pool Float dropped into back of Escape early and then used the Fire Rod to do Dark Cross, where the hammer was. And Centroid last location that hammer with about 5 to 7 minutes of going back to previous checks and rechecking his sanity.
Yeah. Don't hug Helmasaur, Centroid.
Ugh.
I mean, he didn't hug Helmasaur, but...
Yeah. Helmasaur went, here, I'm going to hug you with my tail instead.
And, you know, yeah, you said 5 to 7 minutes. I think it might have been longer.
It probably was longer, but...
Yeah. But, yeah, two hearts when you're on Helmasaur on Green Mail is don't touch him or you're dead.
Yeah.
Ooh! We are going to see the Skullwoods boss. Come on, second Helmasaur.
Helmicopter, away!
Or, you know what, if it's not Helmicopter, I want to see Moldorm, because I always like seeing Moldorm try to understand how belts work, because Moldorm just does not understand how belts work.
Yeah. During non-boss shuffle seeds, I always like to say this is more a boss fight against the room than it is a boss fight against Mothula. And that holds true for boss shuffle. It's just that some of the bosses that can be in here are actually dangerous on top of the room.
Yeah, very much so. But you're right, it is the room. Like this, once... Oh, wow, vanilla.
Aw, that's boring. Lame.
When I talk to newer runners, a lot of them will say that they find the blind fight difficult, and then they learn the script, and then after that, everybody goes, I hate Mothula.
Yep. And the reason for that is kind of being demonstrated here, in that if Mothula takes damage but then bounces, ends on top of a spike, that damage gets nullified, because Link to the Past is a very well-coded video game.
Yep. Which is the same reason that in the original game, Gold Sword doesn't do damage to Mothula, because it's coded the same as a spike. For reasons. But Pool does get the kill, gets the pendant.
Which means we need those flippers, because Swamp Palace is a crystal.
Oh yeah! Hey, look at that! Pendant Pot had something.
And yes, let's all give it up for Centroid at the conclusion of this race for sticking with it here, because I'm going to be completely and 100% transparent with you guys. If I'm in Centroid's shoes, the second I see that hammer, I just go, okay, we're done here. Yeah. Like, I'm done. Let's just...
It's still a good opportunity to keep practicing, keep racing, and you never really know if your opponent's going to make a mistake as well.
Yeah. Or, just an act of God. Like, whoop, there went the power.
I was just, we just had a race the other day with two very good runners where they both made decisions that didn't work out, not necessarily mistakes, where they both found something way later than they should have, and they both continued. And one of the runners who thought that they had lost just based on it, who did make a mistake, actually ended up winning. Just because sometimes it works out that you and your opponent both make different decisions, and they both might be wrong, and maybe one person beats out the other, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes you can come back from it. Unfortunately for Centroid, Pool hasn't made any mistakes so far.
Yeah. So, Cave 45, in a nice, interesting little high five for our runners here, has the Master Sword. I will say Centroid did get a little bit of time back, possibly by virtue of Pool Float deciding to go just blindly kill what ended up being Mothula, because Centroid may be able to get the information that says, oh, hey, I don't need to go there.
Yeah, and if Centroid skips the entire back, and Pool did it twice, because Pool went back to do Under the Bridge once, and then Mothula.
Yep. Now, that being said, that's still, like,
yes,
that's kind of like going, hey, the rain is no longer acid.
But it could be a bunch of little things, something like that. They wrote GT completely differently. One of them goes full left, the other goes Hope Room and finds a key. Plus, maybe some other misfortune can happen to your opponent. Not that I'm wishing any misfortune upon anyone.
Exactly. And I want to actually piggyback off of that and say, I talked about an act of God earlier. Nobody should ever wish that on a runner.
Yeah, and we just found Titan's Mitts on Pool side. Okay,
so yeah, we absolutely need those those flippers, obviously, because yeah.
Now the big question at this point, I think, is where on Hyrule is the bow?
Good question.
Like, that's the biggest thing we're still looking. Like, we might still need a medallion. Lamp would be nice if we could get it, but it's not really important in the long run.
Well,
but like, where's the bow? There's two of them.
Ped.
Chat immediately Ped. Yeah, okay, chat. We know you want it to be on Ped.
It's always left side swamp until it's not. No, it's always pinned to pod until it's not. Let's see here.
I mean, left side swamp has a little bit of the same thing. The moment I check it, it has like one item and it's a piece of heart. And if I skip it, it's got a critical item that I've managed to miss.
And I just feel the need to point something out. There could be a bow on pedestal, but it's not our logical first bow, because Palace of Darkness is a pendant, and you do need to hit the statue with an arrow to get to the Palace of Darkness boss.
Yeah, it's not something you can skip in our particular glitch settings here in our standard races. Gonna get a nice fake flipper here from Pool. Pool jumps into the pool.
Nice diver down, alrighty.
Yeah, what did I call that something completely wrong, didn't I? Okay.
I mean, it is kind of a fake flipper. You're not.
I just realized what I said. I didn't even hear what I said until you said that. And I'm like, wait, that's not what I said. What on earth did I call it?
I mean,
sorry about that.
You're not technically wrong. It is technically a fake flipper. It's just the specific glitch you use does have another name.
Yeah, no, that's my bad. Thank you. The moment you said it, I'm like, that's not what I said, but that's right. So what on earth could I have possibly said? Okay.
And nothing doing on left side swamp.
Pool seems to be favoring full clearing everything.
Yeah.
Which in most seeds will lose you a little bit of time. But it does mean that you don't leave anything behind, and in this particular case,
Yeah.
not leaving something behind, even if it takes a little longer, is going to maintain Pool the lead.
Yeah. I will say, until Pool found those Titans here in Swamp, I was going to say Centroid has a bit of an advantage by dint of having the Book of Bedora. But...
Where was the book?
Good question.
Chat. Help.
I think it might have been in the
single arrow.
Oh, it was in front of Hyrule Castle, that's right! It's in the Zelda cell.
But I thought Pool didn't do front.
Not. Pool did not do front. I was actually talking about this as Centroid was doing the front. Centroid got his hammer out of Dark Cross, and then went, oh, hey, I have Dark World access.
Yeah, I don't think Pool's going back there for a while, but he does have some time before he needs to get back there.
Yeah, and the only way that is now an important pull is going to be if exactly a medallion is on Bombos tablet. Whether it's the vanilla Bombos tablet or medallion, excuse me. Or Quake. And one of those two is needed for Misery Mire and Turtle Rock are both crystals, so we need medallions to enter both of those dungeons.
And just for the record, we found our first double boss. We found a second Vitreous.
Pool. Grateful that he's got a slightly better sword for this time around.
This is actually kind of funny. As Pool finishes defeating Vitreous, Centroid is about to go fight Vitreous in a completely different dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
So, bye, Viddy. The high Viddy?
Yep.
But
okay.
as you say, you know what? Centroid is fighting this with Master Sword, so I like the spins here. This is going to be better than the hammer if we can get the extra hits in. Which is the backup to hammer, which is a good idea. So where do we see Pool go next?
I think does look like he's going to get the information on Meyer here.
That's a good idea.
Centroid going to get the information on Meyer. Could possibly go in if Meyer is ether locked.
And which
it is not. We do need Bombos, which is a glimmer of hope at the moment for Centroid, because again, Book of Bedora needed for the Bombos tablet. That is hiding in Zelda's cell in Hyrule Castle, which Pool ain't going back to for a while.
No, but Pool kind of has everything he needs for like everything else. If he can find a bow, then he can clear out all the rest of the crystal dungeons and go back for that eventually. The big thing is, where's the bow? Ooh! So now here's a question. What if both bows are on both tablets? Did we get Ether Tablet?
We did get Ether Tablet. It was not a bow.
That's unfortunate. That would have been kind of hilarious.
Which, although, if the first logical bow is on Bombos.
Oh, we're not talking about that place that needs pendants, are we? But yeah, so the big thing is, where is the bow?
So
we got a lot of people in chat. Chat, start guessing. Tell us, where's your guess? Where do you think the bow is gonna B, while Viddy decides to be very mean to Centroid.
I actually just realized what you were getting at. That's actually not what I was getting at. Bo being on that Bombos tablet in and of itself is also a pretty decent for Centroid, I think.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, what if the second one was there?
Yeah. Now, that being said, Bo being on Bombos would open up shenanigans involving chat's favorite check in the entire game, but... God, I hope not.
Well, that means we're definitely not getting the second one. But yeah, so chat, come on. Where's the bow? Where do you think the bow is? Let's get a few guesses. Let's see who figures it out.
Punky saying it's going to be on Bombos at this point, because we do know what was on Ether, and it was not a bow.
Well, we get a guess of Hookshot Cave. You know what? We didn't check that, did we?
No, we did not. William just throwing out two impossible locations.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, Big Chest and Ped, their GT and Ped don't work together.
Paradox has been cleared. It is not Paradox.
We do have Centroid checking the basement of Tower.
I was about to say, I don't think we saw this from Pool Float.
I don't think so either, and that could be an incredible... Like, if this is the first logical bow, that could be big, because Pool's not going back there until he's got nothing else.
Our tracker is confirming we did not see this.
Ooh. And thank you to our tracker, Lady Lurlin, very much for keeping us apprised of the items and the locations.
Oh!
Nope. I was kind of hoping to see something here.
Yeah.
That was a weird little wall move. Did you see that on Poolside? When he walked through the wall that, like, that wall that backs up in Desert, as he walked through it, it like snapped shut behind him to the original location. Maybe it's because there's a Trinex in here and it couldn't load it correctly or something. That was really weird.
Possible. All right. Centroid thinking about something for a second there.
Meanwhile, we are fighting a Trinex.
Indeed. Slightly better situation than we could have had, but... I will also note Pool deciding to take out the ice head first, which, since we're not in Turtle Rock, the ice head's actually kind of neutered because it doesn't actually leave an ice trail. Whereas the firehead, fired still hot, to paraphrase Professor Farnsworth.
Yeah, he started on the firehead and went over, and I think it's exactly what you were talking about. He was worried about the ice because this was going to take a while. But yeah, it's not that important in this particular dungeon. It's something good to know. It's something I forget perpetually.
Right, Centroid receiving his crystal information there, and Gidner put in. Pool Float is on 4 crystals, but again, one of those is going to be blocked by the bow, the other one is blocked by Bombos, neither of which we have currently found.
That dead rock just barely got out of Pool's way.
Yep.
Since when did dead rocks just get just past where you need them? They always stop just before where you want them to go.
Mm-hmm. Tracker pointing out another interesting location for Bo would be on Smith Chain.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Pool Float heading to looks like going to be opening up the Turtle Rock portal, and hoping that taking the 33% chance that it is ether locked.
I mean, while we're up here, we can also do Hook Truck Cave.
Oh yeah, no, he is doing that. period. I just probably would have taken the portal down below. Oh no, Quake is on pedestal! Oh no! We're about to see if that's important.
Wait for it. Wait,
no!
No ped today, chat. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, can't do it. Right idea, wrong medallion.
Yep. That would have been insane. That would have become this channel's top clip in a while if that had been, Quake is on pedestal. Oh, we need Quake to get into our Crystal Turtle Rock.
Yeah, the simultaneous tracks by here, two different runners in completely different locations. Oh, we found blue mail. But yeah, wow, that could have been close.
And unfortunately, Centroid is going to be giving back a little bit of time here because Centroid is taking on Mothula in Skull Woods.
Yeah. He doesn't know it's a crystal or a pendant, I don't think. So
no, he knows it's a pendant.
Oh, does he?
He checked his map before he went into this back here. He is specifically looking for items, which is unfortunate because we know that's not the answer. Hey, look, the map of Hyrule Castle. Hookshot Cave,
Hookshot.
also not the answer.
We gonna go into Turtle Rock here?
Yeah. I mean, Pool doesn't really have... Yeah, Pool really doesn't have that much left.
Like, we have the items, may as well go in.
Yeah, Pool can do ice. And that's also green pin turn in. And that's about it, apart from Turtle Rock.
I think we'll see ice after this if we don't find anything.
Well, again, because it's basically all that he has left.
well, no, we're back to some of those weird. Well, we have the front of Hyrule Castle still on his side that he doesn't know. We have that Smith's chain that we were talking about that hasn't been checked. Right, there's still a few locations out there in the overworld that we haven't had a good look at.
Like
Spike Cave while we're up here, right? So there's a few things that we can still check. They're just not dungeons. The thing is that Turtle Rock is also a crystal, so we have to do it at some point.
Yeah.
The only thing is you kind of just don't want to see Armos Knights at the end of this, but... Trap making a good point. If Turtle Rock is completed, we have Pyramid Fairy done. Or available.
Ooh. Can Bow be from Green Pendant? It absolutely can.
Yeah.
That is absolutely something that can logically happen, yes, because Ice Palace just needs Dark World access, obviously, and then Titans and Flippers, all of which we have. So...
Well, that's where I was thinking. I think we might see ice after this, just because it is a relatively dense location. I have this feeling we saw this earlier, but maybe we didn't. We don't think we did. No, never mind. For whatever reason, I thought we had.
We did.
Oh, we did? That's okay. Sorry, I looked at Pool's bottle number and I thought it said 2.
It did. Our tracker caught it. Oh,
okay.
Is in the lava chest in TR. Gross.
Well, that's a required item.
Oh no. Oh. That's like top 5. That's like top 5 locations you don't want to see progression in. Which makes sense considering we saw one of the other members of the top 5 in Fire Rod locked Dark Cross.
Yeah, that's not a location anybody likes. Because most people still end up doing it in the dark, even though they have fire rod.
Yeah. Because it's just, yeah, we could learn where the where the lamps are, but by the time we get it lined up, we might as well have just gotten through the door.
Yeah, that's not a horrible room once you know where things are, so everybody just kind of avoids it.
Mimic Cave being very providing with both a fairy drop and a full magic drop.
Oh. Here's a refill.
Yeah.
Discounted blue potion. Almost.
I was about to, yeah, Double Talk said that was Pool's second bottle. No, it was Pool's third bottle. There's another one in, nice French vanilla compass, by the way. There was a second bottle in Hookshot Cave.
Well, see, that's exactly the point. I remembered that bottle, so when I saw two, I was a little confused. But it happens. Yeah, see, that's the other one. I think, yeah. Pool went there first. I think that's
I misread the intent of Tumult's second sentence. I thought he was saying, no, Pool only has two bottles. Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I understood it as that was the second of the three. And we got Shovel. Would you like to do a fetch quest?
No. No, not really.
Okay.
And also, technically speaking, where is the lamp? Because this is not in logic.
No, this is totally out of logic. Pool is now finally leaving logic. Other than checking that dark maze that got us absolutely nothing.
Which, of course, knowing how rude this game's the algorithms that govern seed generation can be, I'm going to guess that our first logical bow is on dig spot. Or lamp, excuse me.
Hold
Sorry.
on. No one's done bat yet, have they?
Where
no one fake
at?
powder, did they?
Yeah.
Well, we can fake powder. Yeah, no, everyone turned in the mushroom without fake powdering. That's... What if the bow is on powder?
Oh, no. No.
Alright, like, what if they both turned in the mushroom without fake powdering, not realizing that the answer was within reach?
Yeah, that begs the question, where's the powder? I don't like very many of the answers to that question.
On dig spot. We just found it.
Double the powder to bow, and then one of the bow lock bosses has a lamp.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks, I hate it.
Yeah, no, it's... Well, that's the one thing of, like, turning in mushrooms always a risk for that exact reason. Like, you never know if you're going to be able to use that mushroom for a fake powder first.
Alright, Centroid Independent Pod now. Gonna be getting the only item of Nevermind. He's not doing that chest yet.
Which chest?
The basement chest that has the flippers in it. He already did it?
Tracker has the flippers. He went in there earlier. Yeah. This... Centroid's been in here for a little bit, is kind of going back and forth. And
listen, I've been too busy indulging chat's sick fantasies about the hell logic chain, alright?
Yeah, meanwhile, we do have blind in TR. So that's one of the interesting places to have them. There's a few spikes in the powder. Would you like to do a second fetch quest out of Turtle Rock?
Well, that means the lamp can't be on powder.
No, but it can be on shovel. And bow can be on powder.
I hate it.
Yeah, it'd be pretty rude of the game, but so far the game was actually not that bad for the first while, and then it just kind of stopped giving us things again.
All right.
What are we getting? We're getting the hammer yump.
Okay.
Oh, on Centroid side.
Spike Cave here from Pool.
Oh, good. Good choice. I want to see what's in here.
Honestly, if I were Pool, I would consider using a health potion before I would use Cane of Burnup, but...
Eh. You would have been wrong in this case.
Yeah, or just get half magic out of Spike Cave. Why not?
I mean, that's a really nice little pickup. Half magic is the one thing that like you never need, but I'm always so happy to find. Just means I no longer have to care about magic management in any way whatsoever.
All right, Pool heading directly to Meyer here. Can't say I blame him. This is a ostensibly clearable crystal, unless Meyer happens to be playing host to Armos Knights.
I mean, we can still clear it. We have Burna.
Oh God. Does the randomizer consider that in logic though?
It's killable. It's better than doing it with Boomerang.
True. I know it's technically possible.
Oh yeah. See, I say Burna and chat goes, but well, he has boomerangs, yes, but no one wants to do Armos Knights with boomerangs. Come on. Like it's possible, and that's one of those trivia things that people learn that, oh yeah, you can kill Armos Knights with boomerangs. But have you looked at how many boomerangs it takes?
All right, looks like Centroid gonna be going into Swamp here, gonna get those Titans mitts.
Yeah, as to no one wants to do it, but we want to watch it, it is 48 boomerang hits per Armos Knight. No, I don't even want to watch that, if we can avoid it. You know what? That could, if Pool does it without, and Centroid finds a bow, that could give Centroid all the time back. Like...
Demigod Meyer, by the way.
Oh, beautiful.
Unfortunately,
you know what?
because we still need to find items, we're not going straight back to the boss.
Yeah, just to answer a few questions in chat. The swords, the canes, bombs, and actually the rods do damage to Armos Knights, but that's it.
Fire shield, yeah.
That's not particularly helpful at this exact moment.
Nope. Alrighty.
There's a good question. What can Centroid do to cut the time? Go straight to Turtle Rock at this point and go to Meyer. Or like, if he goes to Turtle Rock, because I don't remember, was there anything in Swamp we actually needed?
Titans.
But we have those already. Like, there's nothing in the back, right?
Correct.
So, like, if Centroid makes the gamble to skip left side Swamp, that could save some time here.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly, again, what he's going to need to do. Is basically just straight up go, I can do dungeon, I need to do dungeon. Like, that's going to have to be the thinking.
Yeah, and you know what? If I leave something behind, like, well, I'm already behind. So I need to make up some time somewhere. Unfortunately, we are going to see left side.
But I can... Oh, God.
Well, there's land. Wait, but Bombos was in Turtle Rock, right? So that was a logical double dip.
Exactly, I was about to say. Bombos was in the part of Turtle Rock we could get to before the lamp lock. So, yep.
Well,
green pendant turn in. I almost said turnip. Oh my God. Green pendant
Green
turnips.
pendant turnip?
Yeah, green pendant turnips coming soon to a Walmart near you. Anyway, the green pendant has been mentioned as a potential location for the bow. Neither runner has gone into Ice Palace yet, which is understandable considering there have been clearable crystals on the board for both of them.
Centroid is having a little bit of an issue with Diver Down, but gets it. This time I used the right words.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, it's... The story of this game has been go into the dark room.
Yep.
Because you don't want to come back later.
Nope. Which, that might actually be a problem for Centroid, because Centroid has consistently shown that they do not feel comfortable with dark rooms, to the extent of using Cane of Samaria to make their way through them for the most part. So he may not be comfortable with doing the platform maze in TR in the dark, which is understandable. Again, that's one of those things that I try to avoid doing, and I've been running the game for well over 5 years at this point. Yeah, which yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Centroid was using it when he didn't have a sword, which is fair, because you want some sort of semblance of where you are in the room, unless you're really comfortable with dark rooms.
That is a cold stare in Ice Palace,
yeah, we haven't seen that
again. Yet. Cold stare in Misery Mire is what I meant to say.
That's kind of an awkward place for cold stare. Especially considering that if you start taking too much damage, the strategy against cold stare is to hug the top wall. Mm-hmm. Don't do that in Mire.
Nope.
That is no longer your safe strat. That's the I'm going to get myself killed strat.
Mm-hmm.
But uses the red potion, gets through the fight.
And gets a big ol' nothing. Which he probably already knew. Apart from, obviously crystal is nice to have, but...
Big thing is, this seed's going to come back down to where is the bow? Like, we're starting to run out of locations for this bow.
Yep.
Ice? Like...
Ice Palace, Green Pendant Turn-In, Bombo's tablet.
Did we see the Smith's Chain when I wasn't looking?
Oh, nope, we did not see that, you're correct.
Okay. I just thought maybe I missed it, because easy enough with 2 screens.
We have not seen Smith's Chain, we have not seen Bombo's tablet, we have not seen Ice. Speaking of checks that don't feel good, how's a 1 hour 27 minute camper strike you?
Well, when it doesn't do, when there's nothing there, it's fine.
Yeah.
What would feel horrible is if he gives you the bow.
Yeah.
And then you have a moment of, well, I'm in trouble. My opponent probably had this an hour ago.
But then again, in this specific instance, if that was bow on camper, we wouldn't be nearly as feeling bad about Centroid.
No, absolutely not. Centroid did use up all his magic using cape and spins on Vidi. Something to be aware of for a runner, for newer runners, is that if you slash, generally your magic drains very, very, very slowly. So you can get a lot more damage on just mass slashing than you will with spins with cape.
Yep.
But Centroid does get another crystal. That makes...
It makes 6. He just needs the bow to get into Eastern Palace.
Centroid.
Get to the Eastern Palace.
Centroid gets a crystal.
Oh. Oh. Sorry.
Centroid does not have 6. That would be impressive after everything else that happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Okay, chat. That's an interesting comment. Bo could be in Swamp Big Chest because neither checked it.
Neither had the big. Oh no!
And no one went back in. Like the.
No. Hold on. Pool doesn't have it checked off on his tracker. Swamp Palace big key is locked in the big chest.
Oh, okay. Okay. You're right. It's not on the tracker.
God, hammer pegs. Oh no. Which is technically Smith's chain.
Once removed. And so rupees off bombos, rupees off hammer pegs. The game is going, okay, now that you've finished everywhere you need money, everything you possibly could need rupees for, here are rupees. Yeah. You're welcome.
Yeah. Speaking of rupees, hey! Look at all the rupees in Meyer's shed. Alright,
piece of heart off Smith's.
Piece of heart off Jeremiah. Alright.
Okay, here we go. Bat. If it's here, that would be incredible because both runners opted not to do fake powder. Both opted to turn in the mushroom and left this behind. Oh! That could have saved either of them so much time.
Oh. Oh. Gross.
You know when people were asking what Centroid could have done to catch up in some aspects? Check that. That would have worked. That could have made up like the majority of the time.
Oh. That's what, but fake powder is just one of those things you don't really think of until it's too late.
Well, that's why every time you turn in that mushroom, you gotta have a moment of, do I really want to turn this in? Can I save scum this in some way? Because I might need it. Pool could be worried. Because the moment you find that this late, when you had mushroom and cane that early, you gotta start wondering, did my opponent fake powder? And if they did, how far behind could I possibly be?
All right. Meanwhile, we're gonna see. Trinex. I almost said Vitrios, and then I almost said Armos. What on earth is my brain right now?
It's the vitreous. It's the vitreous knight with the 3 heads.
Yeah. All right. Centroid
try vitreous knight. Sorry?
Nope, you're fine. All right, let's see here.
We have Lamp now. That's making the Eastern trip quite a bit nicer than what we saw from Centroid.
Yeah, Lamp was in the lobby chest in Misery Mire.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, once you're really comfortable with the dark rooms, you never need it, but when it just kind of lines up in your face, it's like, well, that's nice.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Okay, there goes the red Igor, so we're moving on.
Okay.
Centroid is playing Dodge the Trinex.
And there's our second cold stare.
I feel like I've spent a lot of time watching our runners try to avoid bosses between Trinex and Vitreous today.
Yeah. And then also Meyer cold stare.
Yeah, and Meyer cold stare. We've just spent a lot of this seed running away from bosses. Pool having a much nicer fight with cold stare in Eastern.
Yep. Right, almost simultaneous crystal pickups by both of our runners. Unfortunately for Centroid, that was their fifth crystal.
Fourth?
Excuse me, fourth crystal. I can count. As opposed to Float's seventh. That is Float's seventh crystal as well. We are in a mode where the Ganon's Tower Big Key is in Ganon's Tower. So, there's a game we like to play on a lot of Zelda channels that do Zelda speedruns. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where that big key can be. Let us know where you think it is, and you might get some... actually, I don't think that game is running. Never mind. I was about to say points on the leaderboard.
That's been a while since that worked.
Yeah. With this seed tile room. Gross.
So what's your normal guess?
I usually end up going for somewhere in Stalfos room, depending on the routing. So
okay, so that's relatively early.
yeah,
It's like 2 through 5, or
yeah,
4 through 7.
Yeah. I think I usually end up saying like 6 or 7 if I'm pressed to give a number.
I normally say 8 wherever that ends up, just because 8.
Good job, Stanley. 8, 8, 8. All right. Centroid heading into Turtle Rock here.
And Pool heading into GT. So we do have some guesses in chat. We got 9, 8, 15, 13, 12, 20, and some verbal guesses of torture room and tile. Tile room and torch. Right side first. Hope room.
Chest number 1, 50 rupees. Chest number 2 is going to be a piece of heart. And Pool was going Hope Room to left all the way there, had the mirror equipped before they even opened the second chest. Torch, location number 3, going to be 10 arrows.
I see betting closed. Is there a bot we can actually use here that works with the betting?
It looks like it.
Huh. I did not know that.
Let's see here. Chest number 4, after an ether to get rid of these pesky red skeletons, is going to be a piece of heart. Chest number 5, small key. Chest number 6, small key. And lucky number 7 is going to be 20 rupees. Alright, so chest number 8, going to be Firebar Room, which always kind of feels weird to see the big key here. It can happen, it just usually when it happens, it feels weird. So, to me,
well, this would be my 8, so is it right here? Is it 8? No, it's not.
Nope.
Okay, I lose.
Alrighty.
Ooh, Pool using the blue boomerang. Good strat.
Yep.
Just slightly misses.
Alright. Centroid left TR too early. Oh, no, he did. Oh. Oh, no.
Ooh. Yeah, well...
I mean, even if he had stuck through to the end, this one's pretty... Number 9 was not the big key?
I thought we had 10. Did I miscount something? 8.
8 would be the Firebar Room. 9 would be the Fire Snake Room. I think.
Yeah, I must have miscounted something.
10, 11, 12, 13, all of them being
a lot
rupees.
Of rupees. Yeah.
Also,
Centroid going back into TR.
Yep. Welcome to what you just saw was called Randomizer Room because, generally speaking, in competitive playthroughs or speedrunning, you're not going to see that room outside of a randomizer context.
Yeah, there's nothing good in the room. It's all ammo, isn't it? I think.
I cannot remember. It's been so long since I played Vanilla Link to the Past.
I think it's like all ammo or something, maybe a piece of heart, but I think it's just all ammo.
All right, chest 14 gonna be Bob's chest here. Rip Bob. Bugnet.
Chat confirming it's just ammo. Oh look, Argus. Hello, we haven't met you yet.
Yeah. Argus
I guess
on
we are
ice.
gonna see all. We are gonna see most of the bosses, so we'll see if we get the third double.
The only bosses we have yet to see are Armos and Landmalus. Oh, and a death. Oh no. Oh, Centroid just not having a good time of it.
Neither Lanmo nor Armos can be in Moldorm's arena, can it?
Moldorm 2? No. And also, we haven't seen Moldorm. This is correct.
Yeah.
15, 16, and 17 here, by the way.
So, the Moldorm arena... Ooh, nice. Tempered Sword. The Moldorm arena has to literally be Moldorm or a duplicate.
So we have Tile Room and the 4 chests in the back, on the right side remaining here. Powder is out, so nope, he's gonna go straight to the right. Okay then.
Pool playing tricks on you there.
I didn't want to say anything while we were talking about, the betting being open and whatnot. If I'm a runner of this feed, my BS meter is going off the charts. I beeline for Tile Room. Like, I probably get a small key from Stalfos Room, mirror, and do Tile Room. Alright, so that's 17, 18. We did lose one, because this would be 21 here.
Yeah, this is 21.
Which I don't believe we saw as a guess. I don't think we even saw anything close to that.
Well, there was a 20.
No. There's a 20 right there.
There's a 20.
Yeah, that's going to be closest without going over. So, longtime viewers to me, to races that I com on, know exactly the joke I'm about to do. Punky Skunky, you've just won a lifetime supply of Link to the Past randomizer seeds. Redeemable at ALttPR.com. Emulator not included, void where prohibited, and as always, if your standard seed lasts longer than 4 hours, please consult a YouTube tutorial.
If your seed lasts longer than... I like that. But what if I'm running a Doors Pot Sanity seed? Seed.
Then you're beyond the help of a doctor. You need Jesus. And even he's gonna be probably gonna be like, bro. Alright. The Gaddon's Tower climb continues here. Running past the Cannonball Room. No thanks, we're good. We don't need a refill.
No, we're good, actually. Yeah, we got a lot of health, a lot of everything.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, we actually are in a pretty decent spot. And what I was also about to say was, we're in a decent enough spot that, you mentioned earlier, Pool Float might be a little bit concerned about where that first bow was.
Yeah.
And might be going, I need to try and save as much time as possible because I still haven't seen a dot done. And I'm in Gaddon's Tower Gauntlet, so let's just go until I can't no more.
Yeah, because you know what? If your opponent did what you... From Pool's perspective, if Centroid did what he... Oh, look at that! Landmo. If
Vanilla
Centroid...
Landmo too, nice.
And we might have a vanilla Moldorm too, because there aren't too many... a number of the bosses cannot be in the next room. Mm-hmm. But, if I'm Pool...
We've seen thinking... Sorry, go ahead.
No, let's discuss before it comes up.
We've seen duplicate Cold Stare, duplicate Vitreous.
It could be Helma or Moth, or Moldorm. Can Blind be there?
Let's see here. I don't
Can Blind
think
be
so.
in the Moldorm Arena? I think he can, right?
But yeah, we've seen 2 of the duplicates. We've also seen 2 vanilla bosses. Well, Blind hasn't seen you there either. Badoomch.
Blind hasn't seen me anywhere.
All right. So,
but yeah, no, let's Pool picking up the last few items or chests here. This could be good. This could be a silvers, right? Like that.
I was about to say he's absolutely fishing for silvers here, and if he doesn't get them, I'm still gonna say we're gonna see. Did you find the arrows in my tower? Oh nope, they're right there.
There they are. Well, that feels a little bit better because at least you know that your opponent couldn't. Oh look, yeah, Moldorm. That's not quite vanilla though. Something looks different about this Moldorm, and I'm not quite sure what it is.
Yep.
But it definitely feels nice. Yeah, we're skipping that chest because now we're at Silver's Tempered Sword. We're good.
Yep.
We don't need whatever is in there. And as you said, and as we said earlier, like you're feeling a little behind here. I think.
Yeah, you're absolutely with where that bow was. You're going uh-oh.
He doesn't know that he's got quite a solid lead and doesn't have to worry about it.
Nope. Because you never go into a race anticipating your opponent to make the kind of mistake that happened here today.
No, no.
Yeah, like at all. Yeah.
I mean, you kind of hope they don't, right? Like it's.
Yeah. It does not feel good. By the way, it does feel good to have a fight a Naga 2 that clean. But it does not feel good to get a win where your opponent explicitly loses like 15, 20 minutes to just a mental error or what have you.
Yeah, it feels less like you won and more like they lost. And that's unfortunate. We like everybody having a good run. Mm-hmm. I prefer beating my opponent by a little bit, but I want them to have a good run otherwise.
Yeah, because we are, and this is something we haven't been doing because we actually been like talking about the race itself. We are, after all, broadcasting the Link to the Past Randomizer Challenge Cup, which was started as just a opportunity for players who could not make the main tournament, whether because of skill level or time commitment, to be able to race the main tournament rule set in a slightly more relaxed environment. You know, we're all friends here. We want everybody to be having a good time. We want everybody able to get practice in. So, we don't want to see stuff like, oh, this location completely left the mental bank of this runner and they lost 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Relatively clean first couple phases for pool float here on this Ganon.
I don't think we're going to get a torch glitch, but that's fine. You have silvers, you don't really need torch glitch.
Our first bow was in on the Mad Batter, the powder turn-in. Our second bow was in the penultimate chest of Ganon's tower. And as long as
get your
pool
GGs in chat for Pool Float, who does cross that very dangerous last bridge and does claim first place in our race today with an official time of 1 hour 47 minutes and 2 seconds. GG.
And I do believe I heard the noise that indicates, yep, Pool Float is joining us. GG's.
Thank you.
All right, so pretty.
How do you feel about the seed?
Well, I certainly I made some gambles which thankfully don't appear to have burned me too bad. But then I also made some oopsies that I didn't realize until it was too late to go back and fix it.
How did you feel about that bow? Would be my biggest question.
So my thought about the bow, once it became bow for go, then my thought in my mind was, all right, it's in the back of Thieves. I really did it. This is bad. But I'm like, you know what? At this point, I went for it this long, so if it's in there, then GG's. It's last location. And then I found it, and I'm like, oh man, I really should have fake powdered.
Yeah. That's what we were thinking. We were wondering what was going through your mind as you saw that and went, ooh, I turned in my mushroom.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, like, so typically, I tend to fake powder a lot. But the problem is, like, I've been playing Rando now for almost 6 years. And I don't want to say that I'm a bad player, but I'm also not as good as I could be. And so I've been working on breaking myself of a lot of my old habits that just seem to have rarely benefit me. And fake powder was one of them. Just so happens tonight, it would have been really, really nice had I done it.
Yeah, speaking as a player of kind of in a similar situation where I've been around for years, but I have a lot of bad habits. Fake powder is definitely one of those for me as well, where it's just kind of like I've almost never had it pay off for me, so I've stopped thinking about it as much.
And the moment you don't, then all of a sudden it becomes important.
Yep.
Yeah, and I had pretty much resigned myself to, even once I found it, I'm like, okay, then as long as my opponent didn't fake powder, then that could still be okay. Because, once the game opened up with Mitts in Swamp, there just wasn't really a good time to go back and do, Smith and Bat, because there was just everything else going on.
Yeah, unfortunately, you don't know this, but, your opponent did not fake powder, so they did run into the same thing you did. However, they lost track of Dark Cross for a good 10-plus minutes.
Ooh, that's unfortunate, knowing Hammer was there.
Yes. So there was a good 10-plus minutes where your opponent was rechecking and backtracking, trying to figure out what he forgot. So that's what caused the biggest difference today.
Yeah, that's when I had the early fire rod, I'm like, okay, so when I go to the castle, I'll be able to go and do Dark Cross, even if I don't have a sword, I'll take care of it. And then, it continued on in Blind's house. I'm like, oh, look, here, have a glove. Okay, well, instead, or have a flute, have a glove. All right, I guess I'm just going to go and immediately do back of escape and make my way back to Dark Cross. And then, I was very happy to see that there.
Yeah, sorry, this is one of the things that I'm terrible at is post-game interviews, because usually I'm too busy watching and commentating to go, okay, let's talk about this and afterwards. And about the only thing is what we already discussed with what unfortunately happened to your opponent. So
no, I normally have a bunch of notes, but I think this one, just because we had such a large differential because of that one particular error, everything else that happened in this game just kind of got nullified by that.
I know one thing I was actually a little disappointed to see in Meyer was the lamp.
Yeah.
First I chuckled because of the expected logic of going into TR to get bombos, to come down to get the lamp, to go back up and beat it, to then get powder, which would then eventually lead to the bow. So I'm glad I didn't follow that logic chain. But then I was also upset because I'm like, oh wait, I'm on Restream. I messed up Mimic Clip, which I don't do. I can usually nail it in 5 or 6 seconds flat, and my controller didn't want to do it today. So I'm like, you know what? I'll show off the way that I learned how to do Dark Mire with, boots and hookshot. And then as I'm saying that, it's like, oh, look, here's lamp. Well, I guess I don't get to do that anymore.
One thing that you might have, you didn't check PED, right?
No, I did not.
Your opponent did. Your opponent checked. Oh, yeah, you never got book. It was in the front of Hyrule Castle.
Oh, okay.
So your opponent checked Ped. The interesting thing was your opponent checked Ped, and it was Quake.
Oh.
And your opponent checked that about 3 seconds before you portal to tell us what was that Turtle Rock.
Okay.
It was almost back to back. So we saw Quake, and it was like, okay, now let's wait 2 seconds and see what Turtle Rock is, because we were very worried that you were going to show us that it was Quake, and then it was going to become an all dungeons seed.
And honestly, given that given everything else I had skipped up to that point, even if it was Quake, Ped would not have been on my mind. Now what I will say though is I think I would have gotten the book next, because my plan was to finish the blacksmith chain, and then from there go and do the bomb, and then finally check pyramid, then mirror back and do the front of the castle. And then as soon as the bow shot up, I'm like, all right, I'm not a fan of Master Sword Silverless, but let's go. And then of course, GT held the goodies,
which it tends to do. Unfortunately, a place that does not hold much in the way of goodies is where Centroid is currently at, Ice Palace, and apparently, according to the map/compass check, our last remaining duplicate is here, and it's Trinex.
I had a feeling there was going to be 2 of them.
Wow, so our duplicated bosses today were Trinex, Cold Stare, and Vitreous. What a set of bosses to double up, game.
And I was really worried with all that time I spent on Vidi in Hera, but the fact is, like, I know that I am terrible with hitting the eyeballs with the hammer. So I'm like, you know what? This is going to take me probably 2 or 3 minutes, but it's far better than dying and then like retreating with my tail between my legs and having to come back later. I'm like, we're just going to take it slow. And there were a few scary moments, but got through it.
We can agree there were a few scary moments. There were a few scary moments I thought you were going to die, and there were a few scary moments where I thought you were going to fall.
Yeah, admittedly, I don't usually fight him walking in circles like that. So when I got up towards the eyeballs, I was like, wait a minute, are these going to damage me? So I kind of hugged it close to the edge, and I realized, oh wait, no, they don't hurt me. So then I wasn't as worried after that point. But I honestly had no idea if those eyeballs would hurt me, because it's just never been something I've thought to try or test.
That's fair. And it did look a little scarier at the starting. It looked like you found your rhythm, so maybe that's part of what it was, that you knew you could walk through that area. Gave you a little more leeway.
Yeah, that's that. Like, if I for me, everyone says Ice Trinex is the worst, and yes, it's bad. But for me, it's Vidi and Hera. That is the one Randomizer situation I hate when it comes up.
Fair enough.
I get that. I had a particular experience with that where I was running an Randomizer, and then I had about 6 boss Randomizer, and I had, I think, 6 runs in a row where I had Vitreous and Tower of Hera. And after that, it was like, okay, I kind of know how I'm dealing with this. I don't have to worry about it too much. But it's definitely something that you need a little bit of time to get comfortable with. You did soften. We did see you soften them up from behind with some bombs, which was the little eyes, which was a great strat to get a little bit of damage on them when you're in there with a fighter sword.
Yeah, that's something I definitely do when you have the Fisher Price sword. But then of course I lost count and I forgot I had 9 bombs, not 10. So I threw 9, and I'm like, okay, I got 1 left for Paradox. And then I didn't. But then I realized, oh, wait a minute, the mini Moldorms are bomb droppers for this. So I got 3 shots at getting a bomb drop, and it turns out 2 of them dropped. So thankfully they were actually they weren't troll dorms today. They were nice. They gave me bombs.
You know, I'm watching Centroid do Trinex here, and we did talk about something else on your side. You killed the ice head first before the fire head in your early Trinex fight.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Like, what was your thinking there?
The ice head, especially if, for me, if I don't have at least Master Sword, so that I have backup to the hammer, I'll always do the ice head first. I honestly don't know if the ice does lay down in desert. I've never paid attention to it.
It doesn't.
But it's for me whenever I have a lower powered sword, because I've had a couple seeds where it's been fighter sword Trinex just to have the hammer or master sword drop from him. So I've gotten in the habit of when I go there with a very low powered attack, that I do the ice head first in order to minimize how much ice can get on the floor.
No, so that makes sense. I believe Wes was saying earlier that the only dungeon where the ice will actually stay on the floor is Turtle Rock.
Okay, that's nice to know. It's that's some of the things that I usually don't notice, just because it I mean, honestly, it doesn't really come up that often because usually I get lucky and I've always got at least tempered when I run across a Trinex, but sometimes not.
Yeah, that's just, I thought I'd bring it up because it is a good opportunity, because I thought you might have done it for that reason, and I would have done it for the same reason, because I didn't know that it couldn't fall there either. So I learned, and it's a good opportunity just to know for next time that you can just take out that firehead first, unless you're in Turtle Rock.
Well,
Yeah.
And there's something to be said also for just personal preference sort of thing on killing a head first.
Yeah.
Because as you were talking, a part of me realized, usually when I'm in that kind of situation, I have more trouble hitting the ice head when I'm in a situation where, oh, hey, I'm about to run out of magic.
Yeah.
So, like, for some reason, the ice head is the one that gives me trouble. And that's before, them spinning things up.
I mean, yeah, you're right. It's full preference. It's just good to know that in the event that you do want to hit the firehead, you don't have to worry about that ice. Because definitely, if you're ever going into Turtle Rock with a fighter sword and you're not comfortable doing the really quick kills or hits with a hammer, take out that ice head. Because that ice floor is going to get you killed later if you don't position correctly.
Alrighty. So it does look like Centroid is heading for the Smith Chain and Powder Turn in here. Going to be getting that bow. Or at least, I hope they're going to do Powder after turning in this Smith Chain.
Yep, we're good.
Weirder things have happened.
Oh, yes, for sure. I was definitely, when this was coming up, I was talking about, I wonder if it will be the bow right here and how our runners are going to feel with a potential to have fake powdered. I probably would have saved a lot of time in the long run in this particular seed, but in most other seeds, you could have saved yourself a lot of time with a mushroom.
Exactly, yeah. And I know, obviously I had my mic muted for the sake of restream, but I do have my OBS set up so that my mic was live for my local recording, because that'll go up on YouTube. And I definitely did have some creative, family-friendly, but creative language when certain items showed up in the orders that they did.
Yeah, it was. There were some interesting locations in the seed. We'll definitely give it that.
All right, so yep, immediately going to Eastern here.
Good choice.
And then we'll see if he decides to... Well, no, he can't send full right because there's no key in Hope Room. Dark Magician?
Well, yeah, the actual Dark Magician goes straight, goes Stalfos into, Oh, no, wait. It won't matter because we're stopping at Compass Room. So Stalfos into Compass.
Yeah.
So we don't go full, right? Because we wouldn't have to see the boss on ice this time. Yeah, I guess pool float. How did you like that GT big key location?
You know, I'm actually glad that I didn't mirror and do the Dark Magician, because I was thinking, when I found Tempered behind come on brain, Argus. When I found
Argus.
Tempered behind Argus, I'm like, okay, so the key's on the right side. All right, but at least I got the sword. And then when I found it, I'm like, okay, so now if my opponent, because I'm always metagaming in my head. Which is probably to my detriment. But it's like, all right, so then if my opponent did do Dark Magician, because I've seen that more frequently on restreams recently. So if they do that, then they're not going to have that sword unless there's one on the climb. And at this point, unless there's one in the post Moldorm 2 chest, then I don't know. I don't know where the fourth sword is.
Yeah, I mean, Stalfos in the Compass Room is definitely a common route for a lot of people. But you're right, that sword difference could be big. Now I'm kind of wondering where the last sword was, because Centroid has cleared ice, and it wasn't in ice.
Right. Let's see here. Could be green pendant turn in.
Green pendant turn in, tile room, and Moldorm chest? Like, is that all that's left? Oh,
Bumper ledge, possibly?
Maybe Pod Boss has an item?
Green pendant was the red mail, so...
Green pendant was mail, so... Yeah, I mean, maybe... Pool, does your tracker tell us, was there still an item on Pod Boss?
It was.
Okay. So... I mean, the last sword's, like, Pod Boss, Tile Room, or Moldorm 2 chest? It could be Moldorm 2 chest. We might see it from Centroid.
Yeah. Moldorm... chat also correctly pointing out Pyramid Fairy.
Ah, yes. We were just talking about that, but...
For
Pyramid
a
Fairy,
different
yes.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, for a completely different reason. We were thinking the bow might be there, but that's...
Well, while we're watching the end of this, I will reboot my console, and I'm gonna go check and see what's a Pyramid Fairy.
Sure.
All right.
Give us a little bit of info.
And yep, so, alright, Centroid heading back up Death Mountain one final time here.
I'm going to guess that the count will be less than 21.
Yeah, I'm thinking that's going to be happening too. Well, I mean, it depends on what Centroid's thoughts are, because Dark Magician-like strategies are becoming a bit more in vogue recently, yes, but it is still, there is no key on the right side of in Hope Room, excuse me. Yes. And I see Hope Room a lot more often than I've seen some of the other stuff. And generally speaking, for me at least, personally, if I don't get a key in Hope Room, I'm going left. I
find it's about 50-50 from what I've seen about people going Stalfos or Hope. We're going Hope, which means we are going to see everything.
Now, that being said, there's nothing stopping Centroid from going, oh, I have a key and I've got a gut feeling.
Yeah, I very much doubt we're going to see Hope into Stalfos into right. That's a strategy I don't see very often.
It is in Pyramid Fairy.
Sorry?
Oh, okay.
It was in
I
Pyramid?
have Butter Sword now. It's in Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, okay.
Well.
Well, Centroid will have the Tempered then, so he'll be happy to see that.
Oh, let's see here. Taking on the Red Skeletons the old-fashioned way here.
Yeah, not using the ether to just kill them all at once. Somebody found a way around fighting them over there on our left side.
Yeah.
I've done that enough times. Those Stalfos are very annoying in that room.
Yeah. Which means for me, if I have bombos, I'll usually just do that out of sheer annoyance. Like,
Well,
I know it's technically slower than ether is and costs less magic, costs more magic, but there's nothing quite like bombosing a room to express your frustration.
Oh, I love
really,
doing that.
that's one of the reasons I actually like Stalfos first strategies, because I can mirror and ignore the Stalfos in that room.
Fair enough.
Like it is a strategy that Centroid gets caught in the fire snake.
Yep.
That's always a bad feeling. It happens often enough, but
Yeah.
that is one of the reasons that I like Stalfos first strats, because I can be like, yeah, I just mirror and ignore them. Centroid about to enter Rando room, which today was Rupee room. I think all 4 chests were rupees?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
3
we
reds and a
made the
blue.
joke about it being rupees, yeah.
Like, hey, look, we got money. Very unhelpful. I guess that's where Ganon hides all of his cash.
Man, if you need to construct an entire room in your tower to hold $65,
That's the
y'all got some
emergency
issues.
stash in case his tower gets invaded by a young kid who's trying to take him down.
Yeah, that's all that's left. Because think of all the random seeds that get generated and all the times we lay siege to Ganon's tower. It's like he's almost broke.
Well, can you imagine the salary to pay all these guards who do their job very inefficiently?
There's a joke in there about Zangief and the Street Fighter movie about people actually getting paid. Sorry if I just dated myself with that reference, because yes, I'm old enough to know that movie from the early 90s.
The wonders of being old on the internet.
Nobody ever
Sure.
knows how old you are on the internet up until you make a reference like that.
Yeah, and then you read the room and realize, oh hey, most of this room wasn't born when that movie came out. Cool.
Yeah, that's how it's like. I just turned 40 last month, so it's starting to feel that way. So like, I say certain things and I'm like, oh, that was way over everybody's head.
Yeah. Like, I made a rocket power reference the other day to somebody,
Oh,
and then I looked. I was talking with them and I realized, oh wait, you weren't born yet when rocket power came out.
Centroid's killing Argus, phase
Yep.
2. He stopped himself from dashing through the door. Maybe he just doesn't want to deal with Argus in the next room.
Possible, or could just not have the knowledge that you can do that.
The door opened, he was dashing towards it and changed his mind.
Yeah, no, you still got the. Oh boy, you can mirror Centroid, buddy, friend, pal. Ugh.
This isn't that much worse, though.
Oh, is Centroid having another one of those? Okay, never mind. I thought for the briefest of seconds he might be having a moment where he was like, "Wait, where is it?" Because
That would be horrible.
I wouldn't blame him, because this seed definitely had the ability to do that. It did.
yeah. And when he's already had that, like, not to play armchair psychologist or anything, but when we've already had that moment of existential dread with that hammer.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're thinking about that decision probably the rest of the seed, kicking yourself for it.
And then the bow as well. And now we're in Ganon's tower. You just full cleared the entire left side without a big key.
Unfortunately, I think Centroid wanted to use the red cane there, but
Yeah. You need to hug. Okay,
there we go. Yeah, you got to be a little bit farther up there to make sure it hits the crystal every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
I usually like hug the corner of the bottom rail there.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be the same big key number. Check 21.
You've got 21. I got 22. Speaking of dating myself. Although that one's not so much dating as much as revealing I'm a fan of obscure wrestling.
Well, it went over my head, so.
I mean, all right, nothing funnier than an autopsy, and it's also terrible. Makes me terrible for laughing at it. But there's a wrestler by the name of Jake the Snake Roberts, and he was doing a pay-per-view promo, like doing a talking head segment, and he was trying to be intimidating, and the show was in Las Vegas. Unfortunately, he wasn't in a good point in his life, and he was doing the promo drunk.
Oh, great.
And he tried to sound intimidating, and he was like talking about blackjack in Las Vegas, and he goes, "You got 21, well I got 22."
Oh. Well,
like
that doesn't.
Like I said, nothing funnier than an autopsy.
Literally.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Oops. But okay,
yeah,
so we do
for
have.
some reason, I heard 21, and every time I hear 21, that's the immediate first thing I think of is that stupid promo. All right, so now
we do have Centroid in the Gauntlet.
Yep.
Good first room.
Now, obviously, by this point, I think it's safe to say Centroid did immediately acknowledge that you'd finished the race with a GG pretty shortly after you finished. So Centroid does have the knowledge that he's lost this race. That being said, do you think he does the same thing you did, Pool, and goes fishing for the silvers here on the top of the tower?
I expect. I mean, knowing the result, maybe not. I mean, honestly, it depends. If he's going to take this as a chance to practice Silverless Ganon, if he's not too familiar with it, then I would. Then if it was my case and I was less comfortable with Silverless Ganon, and I knew the result, I would just say, okay, well, let's just have at it and see if I can take care of Ganon.
That's fair. I mean, you're right. I think you're right. If you want to practice it, it's great. But if you're not looking to practice that particular strat right now live, I think he's going to just check everything that he can.
Yeah. And to that point, he doesn't really have much else the silvers could be. So if he's wanting to find silvers, he is going to need to do it. The question is, does he want to, or does he either A, feel comfortable enough in his silverless to just say, screw it, let's just get this over with, or B, wants to practice silverless and is just like, okay, let's go.
Well, I do see he doesn't have half magic, so he didn't do Spike Cave.
Yeah.
Which that was, I kind of chuckled at that one, but
yeah,
like
we did too, because I was mentioning you got out the cape for the last little bit, and I knew you had a red potion, so I was like, well, I mean, health is a bit more refillable than magic is, so I would just use the red potion here. And then you used cape and opened the chest for a magic refill.
Yeah.
And we're just like, oh, okay, or that can happen, sure.
I just remember as I was up until the point that I got the tempered, because I had resigned myself to Master Sword Silverless Ganon, even though of course I was going to check, chests in my path. I was like, all right, well, I only have a single green potion that I got for free from Waterfall Fairy, so I guess I'm just going to, I'm going to take care of Aga 2, and then I'm going to mirror, I'm going to flute the 2, I'm going to fill up on potions, and then shortly after I got done thinking that and saying part of it out loud, I think, then I'm like, oh, tempered, never mind.
We are checking chests along the way here so far, and had a little bit of an issue with the bomb on the conveyor again, but does pick up silvers. I wonder if we'll check what Moldrum 2 chest was.
I can't imagine we would. I mean, we've got 3 potions. Like, the only thing you'd be looking for at this point would be a 4th potion bottle.
Gold sword would be slightly helpful.
Oh yeah, sorry. I'm sitting here in the commentator's chair, of course, knowing. Oh, I know where the 4th sword is.
Yeah, we know it's not there, but he doesn't.
Centroid does not. Yeah, and which is weird for me because I've been the one saying Centroid has no way of knowing X information, which is why he's doing Y. Yeah.
Yeah. But we get through it.
All right. Let's see how he fares in the Geometry Wars here. One, 2. This should be a pretty decent little... Okay. You didn't have to do it that way, game. 1, 2, 1. 2. All right. Not bad.
Oh, it's not too bad.
Could have been slightly better, but the angles weren't quite there on the previous wave, as it were. All right, and do some house crashing here.
See, that's where Ganon's money goes. He has to keep sealing up the pyramid.
Well, I mean, if he stopped doing cannonballs for the roof, I mean, damn.
Well, he has to, because someone keeps breaking into his house and attacking him. Our bad.
All right. Does look like a pretty decent phase 1 going on. Phase 2 in progress. Nice and snug in the corner.
Yeah, that was a really nice spot to get settled for that phase 2.
Does hug Ganon, which is slightly less painful with red mail.
He's also got 18 hearts.
Yeah, this is also true. But
I think pool finish was 16.
Yeah, the health kept coming. I'm like, can I just please have the bow? I don't care about the health.
Well, you had access to the bow very early. You just decided you didn't want it.
Yeah, I just didn't know it.
Yeah, both of our runners decided to. Oh no.
I think that's fine. That's fine.
I just saw Link in Pain Sprite, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, it was towards the upper end, so I was pretty sure we were okay.
Okay. Gonna need to be careful with magic here, or that can happen.
Wow, that was a far bounce, though. Like, that... It bounced him back from the dash. I think he was in the middle of the platform when he got hit.
Game, that was rude.
That was a far bounce. Like, wow.
Yeah, my understanding of how that works is that when the fire bat hits you, it not only does it like reverse your control, so you want to get your hand off the D-pad as quick as possible, but it also keeps the momentum you had. So he had dashing momentum.
Yeah. No, that sounds right, but it's still watching somebody be in the middle of the platform and just get knocked all the way back with a bat is awkward.
Yeah. I'm also going to point out, unfortunately, Centroid does not have a magic refill here that I can tell. As a red potion and a B, I think.
I thought I saw blue.
I don't think so.
I saw a red, and I thought I saw a B in a bottle.
I remember the B. I remember the red, but I thought it was, I think it was red B empty.
And I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. There's not enough magic, especially if you're gonna use the cape.
No, yeah, you can't. Well, maybe so maybe he does have blue. I mean, okay, there's still enough magic here. If you do like a quick kill with,
you're gonna have to immediately hit torch glitch. Like within a couple of lights of the lamp.
Oh yeah, I guess if you want to spam it, yes, you can't. You can't spam it for the glitch. You're gonna have to like get it within.
Yeah, you're going to have like some precision with it. Also, gonna have to be careful with hearts here. Although it does have the red goo at least to mitigate that situation. Okay, Gah does not hit torch glitch. Does not have a blue goo. Gets hit by the bee, and Ganon, I think, is gonna finish the job here. Nope.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah.
Because there's not even enough here to use the Samaria refill strat.
Yeah. And, yep, Centroid is going to go ahead and, understandably so, tap out at this point. And we are joined in the hall by Centroid. GG's. You kept swinging to the very end, and that's all we can ask you. GG's and my condolences. Centroid, you are lighting up, but we cannot hear you.
Oh, here we go again. We're gonna finish like we started.
Well, unless Centroid glitches out. There we go. Unless Centroid glitches out and provides the most fire mixtape of all time, we're not going to have a booking situation here.
I wish. That would be sweet. No, it's one of those issues where the microphone loves to just accidentally change itself to default, quote unquote.
Yep.
And you have to select the actual device you're using.
Been there, done that. Got the being muted for the first hour of my stream.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I guess I kind of just gave up at the end because I'm like, I ran out of magic, and I'm like, I could go get more, but I think I've spent enough of everybody's time at this point. So I just kind of gave up at that point.
Well, like I said when you came in, completely understandable. Have a nice day. If I said this earlier, if I were in your position, the second I opened that chest in Dark Cross at, whenever you went in there, the second I opened that chest, my immediate next move is the .ff, because I am tilting into the next solar system at that point.
Yeah, I was pretty tilted, but I guess this is one of those cases where it's like there's several different modes affecting what's going on, and I kind of lost track of a few things. So what happened is I full cleared everything, and I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't have the map, and all I have left is the Dark Cross check. So I'm like, I'm good, right? That's not correct because number one, it's map compass shuffle, and two, it's advanced settings, right? Or advanced placements. Yeah. Like the fire rod let me back there, I guess, right? The fire rod does open up the sewers, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm like, no, I don't have to go back there. I thought maybe I was lost for a couple of minutes. I thought maybe it was a boss thing that I had forgotten about, but no, it's just kind of like the settings all mixed together in my head.
Oh yeah. And
we were wondering if that was part of it.
Yeah. So yeah, for me personally, props to you because my immediate next move the second I see that hammer and realize what just happened is okay, we're done here. But and so to keep going as long as you did, and also just continue because that wasn't the first body blow this seed threw. There's like a
Trinex in desert, and on top of that mistake, I think I made a couple other. So I'm not really familiar with Randomizer. Not to make excuses, but if I had to pick one of the 5 modes to veto, it would have been this one, just because I'm just not really familiar with Randomizer, I guess. So I've made a couple mistakes of going all the way to the boss without knowing, hey, you can check the compass. I forgot about that until 30 minutes in. So just some really basic mistakes that hopefully I remember for next time.
Well, and to be fair, the compass thing is relatively new to mainline rando, so yeah, that one's understandable. We were discussing when the first body blow was being thrown, and you were retracing steps. We were discussing the fact that even again, I hate to keep using myself as an example, but I still get tripped up by advanced item placement. And how long has V32 been out? Or excuse me, V31?
A couple years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Nah, I think this happened to me like on a ladder race a couple months ago too, where I just like, oh, there's no way Eastern's in logic, right? I don't have a lamp, so I skipped it, and sure enough, it was like dark rooms.
Yeah.
Because I had a fire rod, so just one more thing to keep track of, I guess.
But hey, you hung in there, you hung tough, and you got all the way to the end. And like I said, that's all anybody can ask of you in this kind of situation. So I do see that our wonderful restream producer has undeafened and is waiting for us. So we'll go ahead and hand it over to Ricky, unless either of you anybody has anything else to say.
I'll just say GG's on surviving this seed, because that's, yeah.
And
thanks for the restream.
Yeah, thank you so much for the restream. I appreciate the commentators and trackers and restream. Thank you. And thanks to chat for hanging out an extra half an hour for me. I appreciate it.
Alright then, so with that, I'm going to go and wrap this up. Thank you to our runners, Pool Floats and Centroid. Please follow them. I put their links in the chat. Also follow Westside Vandal and Zethno, did a fantastic job of commentary, and Lady Laura Linda with the tracking. Thank you everybody so much. That's going to do it for ZSR tonight. Coming up, currently on the schedule, tomorrow, Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, we have a Majora's Mask Randomizer Blitz Tournament match, quarterfinals, Game 3, between Spec and Will. And then at 6 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we have a Legend of Zelda 80% No Up Plus A championship round match between the Dr. Bull and JSR. As for Challenge Cup, we are working to get things on the schedule, but everything's kind of up in the air at the moment. There's so many matches, we need to find which ones volunteers are able to do. But in any case, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you had a wonderful time and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!